What is up, Titan Bros? Coming at you live. Well, not really live. That's a lie. Coming at you on a Thursday night draft reaction. It's going to be a short, quick show because, as you see, Josiah is on break right now. He's eating and he's going to be eating as he talked. We just wanted to force this video in real quick. Tizzy Titans. Draft night started off horribly. Bryce Young went where we thought he would. But then C.J. Stroud went to the Texans. Anthony Richardson went to the Colts. Plus, Will Anderson went to the Texans at 3 because they traded back up. So the Texans got what I think is the best quarterback in the draft and the best defensive player in the draft. That's great. And then the Colts got the maybe most exciting prospect at quarterback. So the draft started off horrible. The one thing I will say that I'm happy about, we did not pick Will Levis.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he was there at 11. And I was nervous. I was sweating. So Paris Johnson Jr. went to the Cardinals at 5. I think it was 5 or 6. They traded up to go get him. Tennessee Titans select Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. He was technically the top-rated O-lineman in this year's draft. I think he's got a higher floor, lower ceiling than Paris Johnson Jr. So what's your overall thought / take on the pick?
It's good. We definitely needed a tackle. This should help some. The thing is, it's just, you know how it is. It's hard to go to bed excited. It's hard to wake up the next day and like Titans. We did something. We're so exciting now because we got ourselves a tackle. But it's something you definitely need. Our offensive line was awful last year, but it's just hard to get excited about it.
I mean, it really is. I mean, if you want to try to be excited, if you think about it, our offensive line is just going to be so much better than last year. Nicholas Petit-Frere will only be better than he was last year as a rookie. Daniel Brunskill is a little better at pass protection, a little worse at run blocking than Nate Davis. So that's just kind of a trade-off. Center, now that might be a little bit of a step down. But then left guard and left tackle is just going to be better, whether it's Skoronski at guard or Skoronski at tackle.
Right, is he a guard? Can he be a guard too?
Yeah, either one. And Andre Dillard, left tackle, but can technically be a left guard as well. So whichever it is going to be better than Aaron Brewer and Dennis Daly. So our offensive line is going to be a whole lot better, especially on the left side.
I agree, but now we just got to focus on some of the throw to.
We have to. Like, we're going to probably have a recap tomorrow as well with whatever the second and third round pick is. If we don't get a wide receiver with either of those picks, I will be upset. Yeah. I'll just put it that way.
I mean, last year we had maybe the worst receiving call in the league, and we might have the same receiving call just without Robert Woods. Which, again, I would say without Robert Woods, you would think that's a good thing because he's bad. But didn't you say he led us in receiving yards?
And receptions, and he never missed a game. So literally, as we stand right now, unless somebody is just escaping my mind, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is our number 2 wide receiver right now.
That's unacceptable.
I agree. He's a borderline roster guy. Like, he should be a 4th, 5th, 6th wide receiver. So some teams, if they decide they want to go with 5 wide receivers, he should be the guy out. He should not be a number 2 wide receiver.
It's almost a joke that we're trying this again. Right, when we clearly know this receiving core is not good enough
with a new GM. Now, who knows? Tomorrow we might go. I got like Jonathan Mingo, Jalen Hyatt. Cedric Tillman? All those. These are some wide receivers that or even like Rashee Rice, Quentin Johnston. I like all these guys. Quentin Johnston's probably going in the first round. So, but like all these are people I would be happy with, and then I have a completely different tune tomorrow. But if we don't pick them, that's bad. It's 20. What draft was it? What draft did we get Des Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, I know.
I think it was 2021. But it's that draft all over again where we really needed a wide receiver. Yeah, it was 2021 because we ended up getting Julio Jones, which makes things different, but then actually kind of didn't make things different. But anyways, it was 2021 all over again. We're like, we have a huge hole at wide receiver. The first round comes around, no wide receiver. Second round comes around, no wide receiver. Third round comes around, no wide receiver. We wait all the way to the 4th to finally address it, and Des Fitzpatrick's not even on the Titans team roster anymore. He's a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah.
But 7-5.
Yeah, I'll say this, but today was a good day for Ryan Tannehill.
It was. All the quarterbacks that could possibly take his job are gone. They're off the board. They didn't pick Will Levis. They didn't pick Hendon Hooker.
We gave him
his blind side.
We gave him some help. Actually, probably a pretty decent day for Malik Willis too, because he's probably slated. He's gonna stay on the roster as the number 2.
Yeah, because there's a lot of reports coming out saying Titans lost faith in him, and
yeah, I saw that.
Going to get traded on draft night. I mean, he still could get traded, but for now, it's looking like it's going to be Tannehill and Malik Willis as our quarterbacks again. Which I know sounds dumb. By us keeping Tannehill, I think that means we'll be a better team this year.
I agree.
Because even if we take CJ Stroud, we'd have to give up so much. Like I really wanted Stroud in the end, but if we had drafted Stroud this year and did the same trade that the Texans had to do, Titans would have Stroud. We wouldn't have a second-round pick. We'd have a third-round pick. We don't have a fourth-round pick this year. So we literally have Stroud, a third-round pick, a fifth, and a sixth. We have 4 picks. So let's be honest. Too many holes. We would not be good. So honestly, if you're trying to be competitive this year, this was the best thing to do to be competitive this year. But it's just, I don't know.
The problem, though, is we could be competitive, but we're not good enough to do anything in a deep playoff push, if you ask me.
Especially with Aaron Rodgers with the Jets now. Jets had a stacked roster last year with the horrible quarterbacks.
The AFC is just getting so much better, and we're just sitting still, if not going backwards.
We have Tannehill. We're going to be 35 this year.
Let's say these quarterbacks turn out to good. You got CJ Stroud. You got
Anthony Richardson, Trevor Lawrence in our division.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got all these good quarterbacks. Oh, young quarterbacks. And then you got Tannehill.
Hey, we're going to protect him, though, with Peter Skoronski.
That's true. That should help a little bit.
I mean, it should. I mean, like I said, he was technically like all the draft ratings and stuff. They crunch all the numbers and they put everything together, and they said Peter Skoronski was going to be the best O-lineman in this draft. So,
also, though, it's a little boring during preseason. You know what I mean? Because you always want to see what your first round does. Who's always like, oh, let's see what this tackle does.
Look at that. He did not allow pressure that time.
Yeah, because that's the problem. Really, an offensive lineman, a good offensive lineman means you don't really notice him.
No. Same like a cornerback.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times the best cornerbacks aren't getting picks like crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of times the best cornerbacks are just being a blanket, so the quarterback's like, well, not throwing that way, and he just throws somewhere else. Yeah. So kind of boring, super boring.
But needed.
I'm kind of melancholy and just meh about it. But it didn't get Will Levis.
That's a good thing. I say if we get a receiver in the second round, then I'll be okay. I'll give you a thumbs up on the draft.
Actually, I'll tell you right now what would make me happy, and I'd give this draft probably an A+ as long as the players turn out right. Because obviously they're gambles. So at this point, it's positions that you're kind of judging it on, like what position to judge. If we go tackle in the first, which we did, wide receiver in the second, tight end in the third, I will be happy. Because our defense is good. I already think we're going to have like a top 12-ish defense. Like
we got to stay healthy. If
we stay healthy, correct. If we stay healthy, we got a top 10, top 12 defense. Offense is what needs help. So if we can patch the left side of the O-line's complete now. If we can bring in another wide receiver, and then we can bring in a tight end to go with Chig, then I'll be like, our offense should be improved from last year.
Yeah. Well, it can't be much worse, to be honest.
We are horrible. First of all, we had bad starters, and then our starters were getting hurt. So then it was our backups to our bad starters that were playing.
And then I think a bad coach, too.
Yeah.
Todd Downing.
Yeah, and Todd Downing is gone. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's in the end. That's the conclusion there. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think both of us is kind of a thumbs up, kind of. But it's just not flashy, but you're like, we needed it. So thumbs up.
Since Jackson Smith and Jigbo was still there too, and I kind of was crushing on him. The reason I wasn't a fan of him is he's mainly slot.
Yeah.
Kyle Phillips is out 1. 2, Titans don't like to do a lot of 3 wide receiver formations, and a lot of times when they do, they would bump Chig out.
Yeah.
So I kind of understood that maybe it wasn't a great fit, but 2 years ago in college, he had 1,600 yards over that. I was just like, so it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yep. So I guess that's all we got. So, anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's all.
All right, we'll probably talk to you tomorrow night. Maybe I'll upload it Saturday morning. I don't know. So that's all we got from the Titan Bros. See you next time. Peace out and all that jazz.